In November 1968, Disc and Music Echo magazine ran a 5-page feature on the underground scene. John Peel contributed to the feature with his ABC of Beauty. Peel wrote, "The underground is really an undefinable thing. Therefore it is happily impossible to say with any certainty which groups belong to it and which do not. I felt that the best thing to do was to list with pertinent comments those people whose music I believe worthy of your attention. My own foolishness may result in some notable omissions and there may be inclusions you do not expect to see. There will be complaints that this is a purely personal and arbitrary list. This is quite true, so with that in mind, let us lurch unsteadily forward." They seem to play at every worthwhile benefit that happens. I think they would agree that their playing is variable. There is much good there though. Not just a dance band as many seem to think. They've done some very nice things for radio. His writing gets better all the time and the recent session he did for Top Gear was beautiful. A newish group who have aroused interest among discerning record companies. Listen for them. One of the great originals we seem to be losing to the Americans. Their forthcoming LP is much better than their first and it should bring them deserved recognition. They are a Birmingham area trio doing very exciting blues and blues-based material. Early Morning was and still is very beautiful. A follow-up is long overdue. It all has been said before. Writers of pretty songs, I must admit to preferring their earlier efforts which seemed less mannered. They can play very well and they are capable of good things. They'll be recording soon. Their lack of success is unaccountable, a new LP is in the works. I hope their song Peace Loving Man is on it. Beneath the lunacy there is often a serious comment. One of my favorite groups anywhere, the world should be flooded with their records, which are released too seldom. There are few groups to match the Trinity as musicians. I hope Julie's singing never becomes mannered. She writes and sings very beautifully indeed. When she records I hope you will listen, she's very good. Another new group that to be disarmingly honest I've not heard yet. However, wiser men than I bring me glad tidings of them. He writes very fine songs. I think and hope the current one is a success. Getting better all the time. Their influences shine from 2/3 of the nice American groups and it is sad that they can't go on together. Try listening to their LP again as there are some good things there for you. What they do is direct, relevant, often musically exciting, fresh and well worth your attention. Their new LP and single is on the Stable label. He's rejected as insincere by some whose opinions I usually respect. I love the songs he writes and the way he sings them and I believe he's a genuinely good man which is a rarity indeed. A very good and poetic LP on the Immediate record label. It has a pervading air of melancholy which befits the season. Blue Horizon is excellent, better than I'd dared hope. Also recommended by friends. I understand that their single on Atlantic was hardly representative. They're bound to make it eventually when their current problems are resolved. There is so much going for them that they can't fail. Their fine LP has been sadly overlooked and their last single should have sold hugely. Constantly accused of the dreaded pretentiousness, they seem to have lost some of an earlier magic which they'll doubtless recapture. More good reports on recent activities from Peel Foundation spies. Undoubtedly one of the best groups anywhere, there are very few groups I would rather go and hear. Another of the very best. Complex arrangements brilliantly reproduced on stage, they will probably end up in the grip of the Americans. Also getting better all the time. Jeremy does need to break with Elmore James more often though. Few more entertaining groups on stage. All very young and very good, they should have recorded by now though. Curious LP on Derham which you should try to hear sometime. He made 2 very strange singles for CBS and it's been silence ever since which is a pity. I heard them from a wooden floor at a concert in aid of the under-supported Birmingham Art Labs. They were very strong, very together and they sounded very good. Their LP titled Genesis is on Columbia. Another Blue Horizon artist. He does country blues things well, especially Diving Dutch. He should bring a bit of 1968 in to complement the 1928. Good single on CBS called Race with the Devil, not the Gene Vincent one. Promising first single on Mercury called Tobacco Ash Sunday. You already know what they can do, sometimes they don't do it though. They make very good records. Observant songs very well performed. Their LP should be heard again and again. Weavers of magic, they have their own world and it is a delight to walk in it. Perhaps an unknown quantity, a very good voice though. Fierce, neurotic and exciting. Their LP, Truth, has some fine noises. Whoever chooses acts for the Royal Variety thing said there were no groups on this year's fast because none had emerged during the past year. It would do the Queen untold good to see Jethro Tull instead of the predictable hoggery she's going to see. The new LPs are essential. Hear side C as soon as you can. He has done so much and will do so much more, some good, some inexplicable. The single from Blues from Laurel Canyon is very fine. Traveling Man was nice. Tony McPhee has left, so they tell me to reform John Lee's Groundhogs. I hope I got that right. He writes and sings some amazing songs, all good. Hear Tumblr LP on Island Records. Moving into contemporary folk things, on Transatlantic again. I've not heard them yet I'm afraid, but reports are all good indeed. An adventurous LP on Major Minor. They're still writing beautiful and worthwhile songs, haven't heard their new LP yet. Remnant of the Yardbirds. Jimmy Page is an amazing guitarist, the others in the group are equally worthy. Could be very good indeed. RCA Victor single Lullaby is lovely. Observe. Their potential is unbelievable, they should have been recorded months ago. Single and LP forthcoming from RCA. Their rather hurried sounding LP doesn't do justice to this superb group. They must record Saber Dance at once. There are lovely things hidden away on their LPs, try to hear them. They have found a new lease of life and they've produced 2 brilliant LPs. They should go on forever. Possibly the most exciting group in the country at the moment. If they had used the guitarist I recommended they would have led the world. Beautiful songs well rendered. They have not found commercial success yet, which is strange. Their new LP on Transatlantic looks and sounds very good. Superb as individual musicians and superb as a group. They should have written music for 2001 A Space Odyssey. After a rough period, they are better than ever. They should do another LP at once as I know Saucerful of Secrets off by heart. They emerged from a longer rough period with 2 good singles that no one bought. They've put much love and work onto their new LP about the life of one SF Sorrow, which is excellent. Another group with a good new LP, forget about their hit and judge them on what they're doing now. The latest and best of Pete's many bands and they make some very praiseworthy sounds. A few months old nice LP on Transatlantic. Wish to God Decca would release Beggar's Banquet as it's the best thing they've done. The Stones are still full of good things and will continue to surprise you for years. I sat on the same wooden Birmingham floor and heard Roy give one of the best performances I've ever heard. His song I Hate the White Man and McGugan's Blues are touched with genius. A 20-year-old girl of rumored reckless beauty called Sally Oldfield and her younger brother Mike Oldfield. An LP on Transatlantic. Really going well now, better each time. Their new single is Train to Nowhere. Go and hear them if you can, what they're doing is excellent. Buy Lily the Pink and Buttons of Your Mind. The Scaffold are underappreciated, which is sad. I simply don't begin to understand why they have not found wider acceptance. One of the most inventive and exciting groups in the country. I don't really understand their apparent support for violence, which I don't really believe anyway. They can make good records though. God knows where they are or what they're doing. He should be enjoying them anyway. Very strong together sound. Another group we'll lose to the Americans if we're not careful, and tradition shows we're not. I heard an advanced copy of The Man Who Called Himself Jesus, which should be released immediately. Recently rebuilt around lunatic lead guitarist Rory Gallagher. I don't understand the shortage of records from him though. No weak links at all. Everything they do is polished, exciting and very, very good indeed. Another I've not heard yet. I must rectify this as such authorities as Pete Drummond speak well of them. His LP message to a Harlequin on United Artists should be heard. There is still so much good music in him, I think their next LP will be the one. Steve Peregrine Took and Mark Bolan. They have brought me great happiness and they will do the same for you. They seem to have disappeared briefly. Two of them, perhaps there are only two, came and sang songs for an hour on the floor of Peel Acres some months ago and made a week a lot easier. If they ever reappear, pay attention. They have been one of my favorite groups for years. Their next LP, if Pete Townsend is to be believed, should be revelatory. A heavy blues-based group I heard at Middle Earth some months ago. I've heard that good things are stirring for them. Another very good new group from whom you may confidently expect much. It was our fault that they broke up, we shouldn't have let it happen. Upon rereading this opinionated list, it all looks a bit horrid. It's intended as a guide more than anything else, because to write about some of these people and not others would have been impossible, because they have all brought me joy at one time or another. I know I have missed a few people like Kaleidoscope, Circus, A New Generation, Fire, Fox, Dr. Marigold's Prescription, Jason Crest, and many others. I had intended to do a similar thing with American, European and Canadian artists, but this took so long, mostly from memory, I'm afraid that this may have to wait for another week. There is so much good music in the air now, this may help you to locate some of it. Love and peace.